Mykhailo Mudryk was going to draw strong competition from Chelsea, who might have even outbid Arsenal, but suddenly they never cared about him anyhow. Crackerjack, if Graham Potter were fired by Chelsea, it would certainly not be a catastrophe for English managers, but is it even somewhat likely? Fortunately, The Sun is available to provide some clarification with an exclusive from Daniel Cutts. Despite only having hired Potter in September, it is known the Blues board is already pondering Potter's future. Managers in the Champions League simply can't win 1 out of 8 games without suffering the consequences, can they? Sickening. However, it is anticipated that the 47-year-old will be given the remainder of this month to see if he can make things right. At least that's something, I suppose. Although it is generally assumed that he will remain at least through the summer everywhere else. But his brief reign can come to an end if he performs poorly against his neighborhood rivals Fulham tomorrow. Oh. Therefore, Potter has the remainder of January to establish himself. But he might also be fired if Chelsea loses their following game. That is one method of completely covering all bases. Choosing the Mudryk. On the Chelsea podcast, London is Blue, Matt Law, the football news correspondent for the Daily Telegraph, stated, "The Mudryk one, from what I gather, is more at the moment exploratory. They want to know what the situation is with Mudryk and how far along Arsenal is or isn't in the process. They are interested in learning the asking price. I believe the asking price is around £88 million, and I don't believe Chelsea will ever make an offer of that amount for him. I believe that the owner is a little taken aback by how much has been written about their interest in Mudryk. They probably just regard it as exploratory research to check if the person is accessible, what his rate is, and what the circumstance is. They are observing him." 5 days earlier, when Law and Sam Dean wrote in the Telegraph that Arsenal faces significant competition from Chelsea for Mudryk, their words didn't sound quite so exploratory. When it was stated that injury concerns may speed Chelsea's move for Mudryk this month, it didn't sound like simple due diligence. When it was previously reported that there is a feeling within Stamford Bridge that they will be able to outbid Arsenal, the ownership being so shocked that so much has been made of the interest in Mudryk seems very odd. Someone is making absurd beggars' noises. And Mudryk's clear desire to join Arsenal rather than Chelsea is most likely irrelevant. The Sun website's hazard warning, titled "How Arsenal Could Line Up with Eden Hazard and Mykhailo Mudryk as Mikel Arteta Plots a Double January Transfer Swoop," is standard harmless nonsense, but A. Hazard was only ever mentioned as a substitute for Mudryk, B. Arsenal is unquestionably not signing Eden Hazard, and C. Even if they did, it would unquestionably not be to play as a starting false nine. European Inquisition. The Daily Mail's Sami Mokbel report that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang attracted interest from Spain is true, according to MediaWatch. Although it does not specifically rule out a January transfer, which would be completely absurd, saying that La Liga clubs are interested in the striker primarily with a view to the summer market does not make that transfer less likely. FIFA regulations state that Aubameyang is only permitted to play for Chelsea and Barcelona this season because those clubs are not in the process of re-signing him. So it should be made clear that such a trade simply isn't going to happen in January unless a La Liga side is going to bring Aubameyang in this month, register him, pay a fee and cover his salary despite not being able to play him until next season. 10,000 spoons. Charlie Wyatt of The Sun's match report on Newcastle's victory over Leicester in the Carabao Cup quarter-final included the following noteworthy passage. If Newcastle won a trophy before they could fully exercise their financial muscles as a result of their Saudi Arabian owners, it would be ironic and a credit to Howe's managerial skills. True, Newcastle hasn't signed Lionel Messi or Kylian Mbappe yet. But does the biggest January spending by a Premier League club ever, more than £200 million spent over 2 transfer windows on the playing squad, 1 signing that set a club record, and 3 separate purchases totaling more than £30 million, not show that a team can truly flex their financial muscles? Just wait until those poor magpies relax their spending restrictions, people. Fan support. The most perplexing statement from Wyatt is, though, that as for Leicester, they now go to Nottingham Forest, the club their fans despise the least, on Saturday. Before submitting, always give it a short read, fella. Chiefman. The Daily Mirror website reported on how Aubameyang forced Erik ten Hag to make him a Man United first-team starter at 17. Did he threaten him with a gun? Were there any suspect photos involved? Had he threatened to SMS Cristiano Ronaldo an apology and plead for him to come back from Ten Hag's phone? Nope. Aubameyang was just proficient in training, it turns out. This unrecognizable man looks a lot like Jonathan Greening in the face. This is not a 1970s sitcom, so a different hairstyle and a beard do not completely disguise someone. In the latest of a maddening new genre, the Daily Mirror website step up with an absolute doozy. Unrecognizable Manchester United treble winner wins non-league manager award. This unrecognizable man looks an awful lot like Jonathan Greening in the face. He was still recognizably him in October, and he is still recognizably him today. But at Old Trafford, Greening was undoubtedly known for his luxurious locks and a clean-shaven visage. He was known as Greeno, the clean-shaven. It was a whole package. And yet, no. Jonathan Greening not being a Manchester United treble winner. He didn't play in the Champions League once in the 1998-1999 campaign, although he did play 3 times in the Premier League, each time as a substitute, and his only FA Cup minutes came in the round of 16. 3 of his 7 games during the season were in the League Cup, which was the only tournament Manchester United lost. Thanks so much for watching. I'm truly grateful to be able to share value with you. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.